And a happy Wednesday morning to you. As you can see, we have hoisted the Jolly Roger. It's Wednesday. We're going to talk about attacks
Avast, ye scallywags!
and drive on with some of the Security Plus training we've been talking about. Today, we're going to talk about an attack on availability. And this is important because, it's one of the CIA triad. We've got a little feedback here. Let's fix that. Anyhow, so if you want to talk about denial of service attacks, you want to see what's going on with this day, what's going on for this special day, join me in a second. Our Illy coffee is wrapped up in a Dallas cup, and we'll be right back after the brief intro to talk about denial of service and distributed denial of service attacks. Welcome back. Had a little feedback at the beginning there where we're listening to the live stream come across and didn't turn the mute down. So anyways, today is April 8th, and that happens to be National Zoo Lovers Day. Zoo lovers. We're not talking about this kind of zoo. No, we're not talking about that zoo. We're talking about National Zoo Lovers Day. Go out there and, show some love to your zoo. You can't go to it right now, but maybe you can show them some love by, donating or visiting their view cams. I'm sure most zoos right now have their cameras online and up and running to show you what is going on. So it is Zoo Lovers Day. Get out there and don't get out there, but show your love to your local zoo. So what we're jumping into this morning, we're going to talk about more in the Security Plus threats, attacks, and vulnerability domain 1. And really we're talking about an attack on availability. So if you remember back when we talked about the security objectives of confidentiality, availability, and integrity, one of them, availability, make sure that people can get to the resources they're authorized to get to. And that's what this attack attacks. It goes to attack the availability of your services. So this morning we'll talk about a website, but it could be the availability of anything you have. So first we'll start with the basic. It's the denial of service attack, or the DOS or DOS. NIST says this is the prevention of authorized access to resources or other delaying of time-critical operations. Time-critical may be milliseconds or it may be hours, depending on the service provided. And that's from the good folks at NIST. So what we talk about with denial of service is, let's get that off the screen first. What we talk about with denial of service is there's a bad dude out there and there's your resource. And in this case, we're talking about a web server. You have a web server, maybe you got a web page out there hosting your mom's banana bread recipe. And a bad dude out there doesn't like the banana bread for some reason, or doesn't like your website. So what they do is they send traffic to your website, and they use some kind of automated tool usually that's going to send a bunch of traffic and hopefully overwhelm your server so that it is no longer available to serve your banana bread recipe to people who are trying to get to it. So they cannot get to your website because this bad dude has just flooded your website with all kinds of malicious traffic. So that's the basic denial of service attack. It's one person. It's attacking your network, keeping your resources from being available. And it could be a file server. It could be any type of resource, right? So if we take it up a notch, we talk about the distributed denial of service attack. NIST, again, adds on to this denial of service technique that uses numerous hosts to perform the attack. And if we look at that one, really what we've done is we have a bunch of machines out here, right? And I'm only going to draw a few of them. And maybe it's a coordinated attack by a bunch of people that don't like banana bread, and they all send traffic to this website, right? They all send it, and it's much more effective because Now you're getting traffic from tens or hundreds or thousands or even millions of machines that are overwhelming your server. What really can happen here is if these are all bots and they're all controlled by some kind of virus, that maybe this bad dude has infected all of those machines with a virus or a Trojan or something that allows them to control hundreds or millions of machines. This one person can use the command and control, or C2, of that botnet to launch the attack. And obviously that's much, much more effective, because instead of one server or one machine attacking your server, it's numerous machines attacking your server, and it can just overwhelm your resources, flood them out, and can't be made available. And we've seen this in some of the biggest web providers out there. So Google has been DDoSed before. So, why would somebody do this, right? There's motivation is competition. Your competitor may DDoS your services. It could be political or a hacktivist, someone that doesn't like your viewpoint or what you're doing, or it could just be thrill seeking, someone going out to make a name for themselves. So this is DDoS. This is DOS and DDoS. Denial of service attacks and distributed denial of service attacks. They attack the availability of your resources, trying to make them unavailable for authorized people. So that's it in a nutshell. That's DDoS. This is part of what you're going to look at for your Security Plus certification and exam. So as always, because this is YouTube, we say it: like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell to be notified. Of those, I'd really like to see your comments below. What do you think? What do you know about DDoS? What do you know about Security Plus exam? Anyways, be good out there, be safe, and we'll see you next time.